Hi angels, happy new year. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up my reading journal for 2024. This is the first year of me doing it, so if you want to see more of me doing this in the future, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another one of my videos. And let's get straight on into the setup of this reading journal for the year. So like I mentioned, this is the first year I'm ever doing a reading journal. I got this one off of Amazon. I will link it down below in case you want to look for it yourself or look for one similar. Totally up to you. I liked this one because I just feel like I'm lazy and I don't have time to like fully commit to making my own spreads, and whenever I do make like a bullet journal with my own spreads, I never commit to them. So here are all the pages. It has an index as a reading tracker for each month and day, your favorite books, your favorite authors, which I think is super cool, books I've read, books I've finished, books I didn't finish, reading list, then your bookshelf where you can just kind of customize it however you want, and then different book challenges that you can do like throughout the year. So you have 10, 25, 50, and 100, and then the majority of your book is just going to be reviews of whatever books you are reading. So it should last you the whole year. I actually, and it has a little pocket in the back as well. I actually filmed this months and months and months ago, and I don't even remember. Like the footage is a little bit lower quality than my current footage. So first things first, I'm numbering everything. I think the first mistake that I made was I made it specifically for like 2023 when I first started, but not even that. I would go back to the past and I so for the spread of the books that I've read, I put literally every single book I've ever read in my life, which is crazy. And then favorite books, I also put all my favorite books. I think if I was to redo this for another year, I would leave these blank so you can fill them out for the year. But for me, since it was my first one, I filled it out for like my whole reading journey. I would change that for next year if I do this next year. I feel like having the preset spreads just kind of helps, because then you don't have to worry about like being creative and thinking about all that stuff, and it saves a lot of time, especially if you want to get into all the stuff, into just journaling in general. So the pens I'm using are from Temu. They are 0.5 pens. I think the brand is called Aheo, something like that. And then the highlighters are also from Temu. They're pretty much like knockoff mild liners, like the zebra ones, but I really like them, so you know. I think they're both pretty affordable, and I'll try to link them down below as well. I'll have to do some deep diving for those. For my favorite books, I put them of all time, and I think the majority of this should be, I mean, you can customize it however you want, but I think you should do it based off of like your favorite authors and books of the year. So I also put my favorite authors just of all time, and I filled this page up, and that is why it took me so long. It would have taken less time to set this whole thing up if I wasn't doing it for my whole like reading journey that I've had so far. Some of my favorite authors, if you're wondering though, Holly Jackson, she is the author of The Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Jennifer Donaldson has amazing books, and Natasha Preston. All of these authors, I pretty much read every single book they've ever written. At the time, I had a list of books I haven't read yet, but no, don't you ever worry. I've read all of the books from each of those authors. Then comes the part that took the literal longest. Books I've read. I think this should be for books you've read of the year, or maybe books you read at the end of the year that you just want to add on into the beginning of this year. But I put books I've read like in the whole eternity of my reading journey. It took me forever, because then I had to look on Goodreads to see what I rated them and like what I did with them overall. I'm using the same materials as before. I think when I think of the vibe for this, I was looking for color. I just wanted everything to be super colorful, super like kind of in your face, but not really. I don't know. I feel like in my life, my aesthetic is very like neutral colors, because I feel like neutral, and then you can add whatever colors you want on top of it. This, I wanted it to be like fun and kind of like whatever random colors are screaming my name. And in this case, I feel like just the yellow journal itself says a lot. One of my favorite colors is actually yellow. So, and then look, I'm still on the same spread because it literally took me forever to do this spread because I don't even know, like I don't know what I was thinking when I look back at this footage, because again, I feel like I filmed this like middle of 2023. I was thinking like, oh, let me set this up for the rest of the year going into the 2024. I wish I would have just either like waited or something along those lines. And after much time, I finally finished that spread. I moved on to books I haven't finished. I left this blank because I think I want to do it as like books I DNF'd, like just did not finish and like did not want to finish kind of thing. Then I have my reading wish list. This one, honestly, I feel like the books that I want to read are still around the same thing. I'll have to look back at it, but I do think that this reading journal motivates me to read a little bit more. Be just like being surrounded by books and the environment of reading and watching like booktubers and stuff like that really help motivate me to read. My goal is to read every single day for like read 30 pages every single day, because I want to read 25 books for the whole year. The year before that, like, no, 2021, I think, no, 2022, I reached my reading goal, and then last year I did not, just because I was like in a really big book slump most of the year, and then I just didn't want to read. So that was a really big thing. But this year I definitely want to read a lot and make more book content. So keep that in mind. Let me know down below what type of book content you want to see. If you want to see like monthly wrap-ups or just like book hauls and things like that, let me know. And I can give you a really good perspective because I used to hate reading and now I love it, but it depends on what book it is. Like, I don't want to read a book that I absolutely hate. So that's something to think about. This one was also time consuming because I already had a list of books I wanted to read. Okay, on to the next. This is probably my favorite one of all time, but then I still regret. The bookshelf, I don't think I did this one. I saved this one for last. The bookshelf one, that one's my favorite. Okay, the 10 book challenge, I hate how I did it. I don't know any other way of doing it though. Like, I just hate the way I colored them in. I hate that it doesn't have like a specific order of color. But I guess this is just trial and error. So again, let me know your thoughts and like what I could do better. I'm open to the criticism. I don't care because this is ugly in my personal opinion. Like, that's my opinion. I don't know if it's not even the colors. Like, some colors I like more than others. I also hate the way that I'm using these brush pens from Amazon. I will also link them down below. I think they're usually just in my Amazon wish list because I use them in a lot of my videos. I just hate that I use the brush pen part. Like, I feel like I should have used either like the fine tip marker, or like just outlined it or something different. Like, I don't know, I just hate the way I did it. But when it comes to the bookshelf, same thing. I think it would have looked so much cuter if I would have had like a thinner like brush pen, or use the fine tip side of the brush pens, because I just feel like it looks messy. Like, it doesn't look neat. It looks kind of just random. Even though this is my favorite one, I just think it looks super cute and I love the way that it's printed out and everything. So something to keep in mind. Overall, I really recommend this notebook to you guys just because I feel like as a beginner, if you're a beginner reader, a beginner reading journal girl, or guy, it would be like it's just so easy to set up and just kind of have it there, and it's a good size. Like, it's not too big, not too small. Like, you can carry it around with you if you're traveling and you're reading and you want to make sure that you keep everything up to date. But out of all of the spreads that I've done, this one's probably my favorite, just because the colors and everything look super cute. But again, next year we're gonna switch it up. Like, I don't know, like something about this is just not giving, but hopefully it doesn't stop me from reading. So that's one tip already that I'm giving to my future self, is when I'm setting this up next time, to make sure I use finer tip markers or pens or something, because I don't know, this is looking a little like sloppy. There's the word I was looking for. It looks sloppy. Um, I think it looks cute. Like, I don't know, it's kind of interesting. And that was the last of the coloring pages. Here are other pages. Okay, and then the last thing is the book review itself. So each book, you can write a little review about it. I love this because every time I read a book, I always want someone to talk to about it. And like, I can't be bothering Sophia, my bestie girl, all the time about my books, and like, I can't tell her every single thought I'm going through. So not only is this a good way to jot down each thought, you also have like a progress tracker. So you can just track the progress while you go, and it keeps motivating you to read as well. But I like jotting down my notes while I read, because then sometimes I forget them, and going back and seeing what you thought throughout the book can make a difference on your overall rating of the book. So, for example, this is called The Island. I still think about this book to this day. I want to reread that book because it was such a shocking thriller. Like, I love Natasha Preston so much. There are some books of hers that are like, but this book is amazing. Like, I highly recommend it for everyone. I stayed up and read this book, and I even put how long it took me to read it. 4 hours. 4 hours and 30 minutes. I know that because like I said, I just stayed up reading it. Like, I read it in one sitting. Like, I sat down and read it. So here's the flip through. So you have the index, and then you have the book tracker. This is your every single month and every day, so you can color it in every day. Then you have your favorite books and your favorite authors. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys keep going. And I took too long to flip the page. Books I've read, again, this one gave me a headache. It was just too long. But let me know what you thought of this book journal. Are you going to be creating a book journal, a reading journal for this year? And let me know in the comments. I definitely want to know. I'm super excited to actually use this, even though I think half of the spreads are literally so ugly. Like, I wish I would have done it so differently. But you need to learn from your mistakes, and that's that. Just look at this. Okay, I love the bookshelf. I think it would have looked better if I would have used finer tip markers. And then don't even look at the 10 book and 25 book challenge. Like, don't even look at it. Pretend it doesn't exist, because it's so bad. But I highly recommend this reading journal, and I'm so excited to use it and create more book content. Definitely let me know what kind of book content you want to see, and make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss another one of my videos. And stay tuned until next Sunday's video, because I'm super excited for it, and I promise you guys it will be an amazing one. Bye guys, thanks for watching.